Hey guys,
Hello.
this is Tanya,
This is Paula.
and we are two black chicks and a bottle of wine. Oh, or in this case, some homemade sangria.
Which is quite yummy. Thank you, Paula.
Oh, you're welcome, dear. And fruit is what makes it so nutritious. It really is. Okay, so kids, we went through the whole bottle of sangria, honey, because it's week 5, top 14, and the dreaded double eliminations were tonight.
Yes. Dreaded. By the end of the night, we found out who our top 10 was, and girl, what a night it was.
Oh, seriously, people still got bruises from the way they got dragged by the judges. No joke.
Oh my God.
The
Claws, fangs, and whips were out tonight.
And not in a good way.
Oh, dear God.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so the judges, as always, were Nigel, Paula, and Jason Derulo.
Yep.
Seriously, no guest judges, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just gonna, okay.
Yeah, let's talk about something nice and happy.
Let's start with the opening number.
How about that opening number? Mr. Brian Friedman choreographed a lovely jazz routine paying homage to the VMA routine back in 1990 done by Madonna when she performed Vogue. They were in their best, Marie Antoinette getup.
Yes,
For this one,
yes.
and-
This was seriously old school. Old school, extras from Amadeus type stuff. It was
Crystal
serious.
Waters. He broke out the Crystal Waters.
Okay.
I said, Brian Friedman, you better.
Yes.
Yes, girl.
Seriously, that's gonna be his thing. All right. Every time we mention him, we're just gonna go Brian Friedman.
Yes, girl.
Because he brought some fairs tonight. We could not have been happier with this routine if you tried.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you were paying attention, you noticed that there was a very, very familiar all-star in that routine, and that was all-star Robert, and he was standing in for Jim, who had suffered an injury. So
Still not clear on what it was, but he managed to recover enough so that he could actually perform this week. So hallelujah.
hallelujah. But it was nice to see Robert, and that routine
always.
was just fierceness of all kinds.
Okay, when they all stood together and the fans came out, we were done. We were done. All right, so let's get into the competition.
Yes, and this week we had everybody paired up again, and starting things off was Jim and Youre Ellis taking on a contemporary routine by the one, the only Sonya.
She has returned to us.
She has come back.
Let us sacrifice a sheep and thank the gods.
Yes, we must.
Oh my God!
And-
Sonya has returned, and she brought the fire with
Yes,
her. Oh,
she
good
the
God.
sides of her head, and she says, "Y'all,
She went to war.
it's time to work."
It's time to work.
And this routine, of course,
Speaking of work,
was spectacular. Energy in this routine was through the roof. The connection between Jim and Ariana
Youre
was
Ellis.
yes, Youre Ellis. I'm still trying to get over last week's routine with Jim and Ariana.
there you
That's
go.
what it is. Yeah. But anyway, great chemistry between Jim and Youre Ellis. They handled this routine beautifully.
Okay, personally, I could not take my eyes off Youre Ellis. And if y'all know how I feel about Jim, you know that takes work. It was passionate and hard-driven and so good. Oh, the extensions. Oh, the leaps. Oh, the happiness. She lifted him at one point. I could not deal with how fabulous it was. Yes.
Energy. They were just working
was,
off of
yes.
each other's energy, and they were
They were feeding off of it beautifully.
beautifully, and so happy to have you back, Sonya.
Okay.
Yes.
Next in
But
line.
after their routine,
Yes.
we found out that Jim made it to the top 10. No
Who's
surprise.
shocked?
No surprise, but Youre Ellis was in the bottom 6.
All right. After that, we had a hip hop routine by Misha Gabriel featuring Edson and Yaya. And this was nothing going on in there, nothing feeling
Yeah.
here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, well,
Yeah.
they did.
They danced
But
it.
that's about it.
Yeah, you know, I like their little Bruno Mars get up, but that's about it. Well, you know what? I think they did the best that they could with this piece of choreography. And, you know, I mean, it was lacking on swag a bit, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't working for me.
It just wasn't there. It
just-
wasn't there.
It wasn't tight. At the end of their routine, you found out that both of them were safe.
Yeah.
And so,
So congratulations to Edson and Yaya for making the top 10.
yay! Then after them, we had Haley and Virgil, who were paired up once again.
Yay.
And this time, they were doing a contemporary routine by Tice Diorio.
Now we have a very complex relationship with Mr. Tice Diorio.
Yes, we do.
When the man gets into the contemporary genre, it is good. It is all good. He goes in, rips out our feels, and exposes them to us.
Yes.
And we are completely okay with that.
We love it.
We're okay with that, yes.
Okay with it. We love it when Tice stays in his lane.
And in this case, that argument stays the same. Haley and Virgil in a combative, possibly abusive relationship with an obsessed ex-girlfriend, and everybody played their parts.
Yes.
Yes, she did. Miss Haley,
Yes.
ooh,
She brought
I was
out
scared
that,
of you.
Yes, a little witchy poo goodness.
Witchy poo realness. And Virgil as the put upon ex-boyfriend. It was just, it's hard to think of it that way because they're so very different, and they're generally happy people. You can see that, and just to see such a departure for the both of them was a welcome change. It was needed.
It was
needed.
refreshing, actually,
Yeah.
to see that they could actually play that side of it. That they could go from light to dark that way, and it was a dark piece, and they handled it beautifully. And of course, just like with the last routine that they did, the last hip hop routine that they did, they have great chemistry in this one as well, and that's what made it even better. That they connect so well with each other.
Yep. Okay.
So, and after their routine, we found out, no surprise either, that Virgil was in the top 10.
And Haley was in the top 10.
Yay, congrats you guys.
Okay.
Next up we had Alexia and Ariana taking on a burlesque jazz routine by Tracy Phillips and Dominic Carbone.
In which they were portraying sexy fish. Yeah, I don't think anybody caught that.
No.
We are just as lost as you.
And so were they, apparently.
Yeah.
You could just see that the two of them were not
They were not in
selling
it. They weren't in sync. They weren't in sync with each other, let alone the audience. It was madness.
I mean, this sort of routine, it's a really campy, quirky, dark, dry sort of, thing. You need someone with a special sort of personality to pull this off. Who did Paula say could probably pull a routine like this off?
Oh, God.
Was it Bette Midler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bette Midler, absolutely. This was, it was, show a little legs sort of deal, and you have to bring campy plus sexy plus funny plus
Twisted.
just a little twisted and things like that. And yes, Bette Midler could totally pull that off.
She could.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this one was really tough going, man.
This was hard, and it didn't work for either one of them.
It didn't. I don't think it worked for anybody. Not anybody.
Not anybody. And of course the judges, oh dear God.
Oh
Dear God.
Shredded them like Enron documents. Seriously, it was not.
Yeah. Oh man, but after that routine, we found out that both Alexa and Ariana were in the bottom 6.
It's like none of you were listening. Like you were not listening at all. And I just, I was very, very specific about that. I'm fine.
Moving on. Moving on, we had Derek and Megs take on a hip hop routine by Dave Scott. Okay, in this routine, Derek is supposed to be taken by the sexy trumpet playing Megs, and
That did not happen.
It wasn't there. Y'all.
No, that did not happen.
It wasn't. I mean, of course, Megs did her part in dancing the routine, and
Absolutely.
Derek, he came out a little bit.
He did.
Come out a little
He'd have to learn to get a little bit more low with it if he's going to continue doing hip hop,
Yeah.
which I think he should.
But
If they were looking for them to work off each other's chemistry in terms of bringing some heat, that did not happen.
there was zero heat in this routine.
No heat.
It came across more like a
competition.
skit. Yeah.
Yeah, a skit.
Like a really weird comedy skit. It just wasn't working.
It didn't work. No.
It just didn't work. Yeah, it just didn't. And at the end of that routine, Derek was in the bottom 6 and Megs made it to the top 10.
Yay, Megs.
Congrats, Megs. And
Alright.
next one, break out the tissues. A definite tissue moment of the night came courtesy of Gabby and Neptune, who took on a contemporary routine by Stacey Tukey. Hands to the screen, y'all. Hands to the screen.
Okay, the woman took on the concept of prejudice between these two gorgeous dancers to the tune of Take My Hand from the Selma sound, Take My Hand, Precious Lord from the Selma soundtrack, and that was church.
They took you to church, y'all.
Absolutely. This was past the collection plate. I'll see you at the church picnic next Sunday.
Yes.
This was,
It was like amazing. I mean, Gabby again just astounds every time I see her.
There's nothing she can't do.
She's astounding.
It's not possible.
And Neptune, how he gives himself to these routines and how he allows himself to be free and open to these feelings and emotions, so he's able to hang tough with Gabby and bring forth an amazing, beautiful, gorgeous routine.
It got you right there. Right up in the feels, man.
So there, it was such a beautiful, gorgeous routine, and thank you to Stacey Tukey for just bringing the tears.
Absolutely.
And bringing a beautiful message, a really nice, strong, solid piece on, the issues going on today in the world. And that was just lovely.
But sadly, once it was finished, we discovered that Neptune was in the bottom 6, but Gabby made it to the top 10.
Yay, Gabby.
Again, who's surprised?
Who's surprised.
Exactly.
And we wrap things up with Kate and JJ taking on a jazz routine by Miss Brian Friedman.
Okay.
Girl.
But this one didn't quite give us as much sass and fierceness as we expected. This was waiting for that. They were playing, sailor pinup girls.
Yeah.
And JJ had no idea what a sailor pinup girl was.
She was just like, I know geisha, but I don't know sailor pinup.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like with the burlesque jazz routine with Alexia and Ariana, the ladies did not connect with this either.
Really, no.
They just weren't with it. I mean, it
was rough. It was rough to go through.
It was rough. I mean, they seemed they tried their best to fake it. You could tell they were trying to fake it to make it. But
fake it till you make it. That is the key. Yes.
But it just didn't work. Mm-hmm. It just didn't work. It just didn't hit all the right notes. And unfortunately, we found out that Kate was in the bottom 6 and JJ made it onto the top 10.
Okay. But then we move on to, and personally, I think this has become a highlight this season, the team routines.
Oh, yes.
Yes, when it really gets down to team stage and team street. And this week, team stage made the first shots with a contemporary piece by Sonya.
Lord
have mercy. We thought it was rough with Travis Wall at the helm. But you put Sonya up in there and have her lead these children. It's and the concept of that moment after you discover that a loved one is gone. and all 7 of them have to share it. Once again, having a All-Star Robert come in to sub for Jim because of his injury, and it was kind of hard to kind of take your eyes off him, but the group as a whole, they worked together so gorgeously.
Sonya came in, her guns were totally loaded. I guess fresh off of her Martha Graham experience, she brought it onto the stage and shared it with the dancers, and she shared some great insight with them, some great techniques during the rehearsals that they totally applied on that stage, and it worked beautifully. I mean, when I tell you, she shaved those side of her head,
she was ready. She was coming for everybody. She was coming for everybody.
You know, she came for everybody.
Yes,
and
she did.
Once again, thank you and welcome back, Miss Sonya Yaya.
All right.
But
not to be outdone.
Oh no.
Here come Team Street.
Oh yes.
Now, last week we said what they need is a high concept. What they need is a story with a through line. What they need is drama. What they need
is Phoenix and Farside.
And so Phoenix and Farside came to the rescue with a high concept, high drama routine, all about a carnival from hell.
Yes. And boy,
it was necessary.
Did they bring it. They had the strong man, they had the clown, did not appreciate the clown makeup. Farside, stop that. Don't do that. We had the high wire girl, we had the beardo lady. And
we love you for that, Yaya. We seriously love you for that.
Love you for that. And we had the master of ceremony,
the hunchback Megs, and the Siamese twins,
Youre Ellis and Ariana. And let me tell you, this was fire.
Yes.
You needed this if you were going to get on that stage right after a Sonya Yaya contemporary routine like that. It had to be on point. It had to be high concept, and they were tight together, and it was.
Everybody got their own little spotlight moment.
Yep.
But together they were still just this group of crazy, insane people. It was fabulous.
Yes, it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've been waiting. We've been waiting for this.
We've been waiting.
Thank you, Farside and Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
thank you.
Sadly, after all that dancy goodness, we had to deal with the eliminations.
And this week, all we had were the Twitter saves. The judges were not placing their votes in this week. So that meant that only 2 could be saved and 4 people were going home. So,
it was brutal.
America took to Twitter and decided that the 2 people that were moving on and were going to be part of the top 10 was Derek and Neptune.
Which meant, tragically, we have to say goodbye to Alexa and Kate from Team Stage, and Youre Ellis and Ariana from Team Street. We're taking this one personally.
Yeah.
We may need to switch to Scotch.
I mean, I just don't get what people were not picking up with Ariana. I just don't understand it. I mean, this girl, she's performed some amazing dance routines in the past few weeks that she's been on this show.
And every week she's in the bottom. What is that? I'm fine.
You know, this is a person you saw work hard to make it to the next level. And to see this happen, it's hard to take. You know, because we're really rooting for her. We really wanted her to be a part of that top 10. But
we can't even. Seriously, we're just completely incapable of evening right now. But what's done is done.
What's done is done.
And now we have our top 10. And that's when it gets real. Is that even a word?
It is now.
Okay. So now we have our top 10, and next week we start whittling it down, and this is where it gets ugly, children.
Yes. Expect the judges to keep those fangs and claws and whips out.
Yeah. Nasty.
But guys, remember, as always, vote, vote, vote. It is so important that you vote, especially now in this top 10, since this is a really tight group.
This is a tight group, yes.
There's really some good people in this top 10.
There's very little room for error, so.
Very little room. And I'm looking forward to it. But remember, vote, vote, vote. But as always, we'd like to know what you guys think and how you felt about the show, how you felt about, who was allowed to stay and who went home. Let us know, guys. You could find us on Facebook at Two Black Chicks and a Bottle of Wine, the SYTYCD edition.
Or you can check us out on Twitter at Tanya_and_Paula.
And you can rate, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Two Black Chicks and a Bottle of Wine. Please subscribe. Just hit that button down there.
That's right down there. It's the little red one. Right.
And this week we want to send a very, very special shout out to a very special subscriber.
Special brand new subscriber.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, City Chick Chickpea.
That one's a little personal for us, but we're not going to get into that.
We're not going to get into it. Just that thank you and we love you, my dear. Mwah.
Miss you, girl. Okay, so next week, top 10. We might have to switch to vodka.
We might, y'all. And I hope at this point we're going to be seeing some guest judges. Guest judges.
Do we have to do this?
I think you guys know what we're talking about.
Okay, I think we've been very subtle in dropping the hints. Maybe that's the problem. Guest judges, get on it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So,
with that, guys.
In the meantime, this is Tanya.
This is Paula.
And we are
Two Black Chicks
and a bottle of wine. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.